Hey, it's Tonika Bruce, also known as Coach Bruce or the Network Nurse. I'm a registered nurse, an author, a leader, a doctoral student, a wife, and a parent. Join me on this journey to discuss nurse X's and O's from nursing to networking. With my experiences, failures, and lessons learned in leadership, business, and sports, my hope is to positively impact your life by challenging you to chase after your goals with relentless pursuit. Let's aim to achieve success beyond your wildest dreams. So today in our discussion, we're focusing on how someone becomes a nurse leader and what that entails. And sometimes we look at nurse leadership and we feel like maybe it's easy. And we know that it's not an easy task, but some of the really good leaders make us feel and assume that it is an easy task, but that's far from the truth. And just like any other leader, a nurse leader has a very huge task and responsibility in just ensuring and inspiring others to work together. And if you've ever coached a team or you've been a leader of any number of people, you know that getting a team to work towards a common goal is not an easy thing. So we do have to kind of ask ourselves, one, what makes a great nurse leader, or what makes a nurse leader at all? And then what kind of qualities do they need to have? What kind of skills do they need to have? So that nurse leader that you see that's just fearless and pushes a team towards a common goal, or sometimes we call that a mission vision of the organization, or we call that the principles or the core values of whatever organization and environment that the leader is working in. So there's also times that a nurse leader has to challenge the institutional policies of whatever facility that they're working in. And with that being said, they have to be in many places. They wear many hats, so to speak. And sometimes that may be in an emergency room for a nurse leader. It may be in a patient's room. And that nurse has to be knowledgeable of procedures that may be every day, and it may happen every once in a while. So they have to be able to just go in and jump in. So with those decisions and those kind of skills, you have obviously an increased stress level in making critical and quick decisions. So there are a couple different personal attributes that will help nurse leaders in decision making or problem solving, and also a little bit of the team building. And some of that includes integrity and courage, initiative, also persistence. Great communication is key, and also the ability to handle stress. And we can't forget about just having just that self-awareness of themselves, again, and also awareness of the people around them. I mean, as leaders, you have to work with so many different kinds of people, so many different personalities and backgrounds. And the biggest thing is just so many different agendas, so to speak, or reasons why people work in the first place. And so if you're trying to put together a team of people that have this common goal, but then you have someone else that they don't have that common goal and they're not there for the same reasons, it does become a difficult task. So some of the skills and things that are very important outside of being able to rally a team in the instance of a nurse leader is that they've got to be able to identify problems and in areas of the hospital or facility that they work in. Because if you take some time to really evaluate the schedules of nurse leaders, most of them work round the clock, or they work long hours to devise different plans and strategies, and maybe their full day is set up of meetings most of the working day, and then they have to stay over extra to work with their staff. And so this is really necessary because you have to make adjustments in order to achieve many of the goals that are set by administration or the team goals that you're trying to accomplish. So they have to have also this keen ability to analyze situations and problems and be able to find solutions and be able to pick the one that's most viable to their team. And then I think one of the biggest things that nurse leaders really have to have that I think sometimes goes by the wayside, and that's just having a commitment to learning. And I don't just mean having this passion and just getting through nursing school and saying, I want to be a nurse and then stopping there. I mean, just this lifelong commitment to learning. And that means new procedures. And, we're all guilty, but not really getting into management mode and getting to the point where you're just continuously learning and trying to improve yourself. And that term is called Kaizen. And being willing to do extensive research on all of the new medications and procedures, and then also knowing how to do them. Because in essence, you're trying to train your staff to do things efficiently and to do the things that you're trying to accomplish. So as a nurse leader, it's a big responsibility. And so you have to be prepared both mentally and psychologically in order to lead a team to do this yourself. And also just being a great player. A leader is a coach. So it's imperative to know how to be a part of a team and work with different people, as we discussed before, because there's so many people that have different beliefs and ideologies. But when you're able to put together a team, and as a former college basketball coach, I understand that you have people from different countries, you have them from different states and different upbringing and backgrounds and different positions and different levels of skill, and getting an entire team rallied around one common goal when it happens, and then you have just a tremendous amount of buy-in. It just changes the course of everything. And it changes things because you're not having to really focus on the little things. You're able to focus on elevating and moving things to a different level. So in this situation as a nurse leader, you're able to concentrate on saving more lives and restoring health to the customers and to the clients and to the patients that come into your space. And whether it's 5 residents or patients, the nurse leader needs to be able to treat every single team member fairly, because those team members are the ones that are going to provide the care to those same patients or residents or clients or customers. And so you want everyone to feel that they are treated fairly, so that way everyone takes a part in the activities and the requirements that we have set as nurse leaders. So out of all of this, understand that being a nurse leader, it's a learning process. It takes time to master everything. And in this situation, we're talking about nurse leaders, but just leaders in general. You can't get into a position, and a leadership position at that, and think that, okay, I've made it. And understand that the best thing that can happen is understanding that once you get there, now you know that the hard work has to begin. Because a leader has to really focus on working towards building good rapport and building trust with your colleagues, building trust with your team members, and also establishing a good work environment. Because again, like we just talked about, the basketball days, and even the coaching days of sport, once you get everybody on the same page and you get everybody to have buy-in, there's absolutely nothing that you can't accomplish. Hopefully you guys liked today's episode. My goal is to be of help to you in making even the slightest change in your life through this podcast. And if that happens, then that's achievement enough for me. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. That's very important. And also connect with me on my social media pages. And if you want to know more about me, please visit tonikabruce.com. Now, there's always 3 things that you need to do in between now and the next episode. 1, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. 2, know when the next episode will be. And number 3, win your day.